Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Sunita Daya and I'm here with you to do the practical on the chapter time value for money, which is again one of the important topic in business mathematics of our BCom honors students in semester 3. So in theory also this chapter is very important, and now here we are supposed to do at least 2 questions in practical examination on time value for money. So again it is very important for you to learn how to do that practical. It's very easy. So before we start with the practical, we need to be aware about the various terms which we are going to use in Excel while solving these problems for present value, for future value, for PMT, and for depreciation, right? So some terminologies are going to come. So before we start, let's go to the some terminology. First is your rate. Rate is your rate of interest given in the question. Second is N period. It is the number of periods for an investment based on interest rate. Like suppose if it is the number of years are 3, right? If you take number of years given in the question as 3, right? These are years, right? If it is in annual mode question, then the N period will remain same. N period will be same as equals to this number, right? So it will not change. But if it is in half yearly question, N period will be 3 multiplied by 2, right? Equals to, we have to write 3 multiplied by 2, right? So it will be 6 half years, right, in case of N half yearly mode. Similarly, N period, if you are going to calculate for quarterly mode, equals to, then you have to multiply number of years into 4, right? So it will be 12 quarters in 3 years. So N period will be in the effective period for which you are going to calculate it, right? Similarly, the rate of interest will be divided with the same number. In half yearly, the rate of interest will be half, right? If it is 10%, it will become 10 divided by 2, that is 5% for half year, right? So let's start with the problem now. So on the screen you find one problem given. Mr. X invested a sum of 10,000 at the beginning of the year at the rate of 10% compounded annually. What is the amount that he will get after the end of 3 years, right? So here N period, after that we have to learn some terms also. I left in between, so let's proceed further with the term, then we will come directly to the question. Third term is PMT, that is used in case of constant payment to be made and a constant rate of interest, right? So PMT you will find there that you are going to take it whenever the constant payments are made or constant payments need to be calculated, right? Fourth terminology is the present value of investment, what you have invested, and there will be a term type, right? Fifth one is type. Type can take the value of 0 or 1. If the payment is made at the end of the period, then you take type as equals to 0, and you take type equals to 1 as value when payment is made at the beginning of the period. It will be specified in the question whether the payment is made at the end of the period or at the beginning of the period, right? So but in case it is not mentioned, like in this example it is not mentioned when the payment is made, then you are supposed to take it 0 by default, right? But here it is mentioned at the end of 3 years, right? So you will be taking type equals to 0. Okay, let's start with the question. Mr. X invested a sum of 10,000 at the beginning of the year at the rate of 10% compounded annually. What is the amount that he will get after the end of 3 years, right? So PV you are going to take present value, we denote it by PV, which is you have to write initially the given things, right? So it is 10,000, and you will write down rupees here, not in the same block, because we need to use the cell for the calculation purpose. So whatever the units are, you have to write in the next subsequent cell, right? Then in the question it is given the rate of interest is given, that is 10%, right? Then your years for which the payment is, you can say, invested, that is 3 years. Since you are going to calculate annually here, compounded annually, so n period will remain same. N period will be equals to whatever the value you are having here, right? So this is your effective period, and effective rate will also not change. It is per year or annually, right? So here you are being asked, what is the future value? Mr. X invested a sum of 10,000 at the beginning of the year at the rate of 10% compounded annually. What is the amount that he will get after the end of 3 years? Okay, so PMT, we can write it down. If it is not given, you can still write it down. It is 0. Okay, and your type, we will take 0. Okay, here the percentage is coming, so some formatting is already there. You can change the formatting, because in Excel sometimes by default formatting is there, so you can change it to number. Okay, right click it, format cell, then you can click on the number form, right? Okay, so here we are supposed to calculate the future value, so you can write it down, future value. So what formula you are going to apply? Equals to FB. Then these are the arguments which are being asked in this particular formula. So this I remember, so that's why you can directly put equals to FV. Otherwise you have to go to the formulas, right? Here some financial functions are there, and here you can take the future value, right? So if you click it, the same syntax will be followed, right? So if you remember it, you can directly mention it. Then future value, what it is demanding? It is demanding rate, and period, PMT, PV, and type. Okay, so what is the rate? You have to select the cell. So effective rate will, there will be no change, so you can directly select the cell where you find the rate. Then you have to specify the end period, right? What is the PMT? PMT is not given, so you can write it down 0 in this case, or you can select the cell also. And then PV, okay, you have to take always the present value negative, otherwise your future value is going to be negative, right? You have to mention a minus symbol against in front of PV, right? Otherwise your answer FV will be coming in negative values, right? So since you have invested it, right, and you seek some kind of benefit on it, the future value you will be getting, that need to be positive always, right? So you minus 10,000 or minus G6, and type again you will be taking 0. You can select from the cell also, you can select the cell from this place also, or you can directly mention, close the bracket and enter it. So the future value you will be getting after 3 years at the rate of 10% compounded annually, right? So that will be 13,310, right? Sometimes this value comes in dollars, so again you can right click it, format cell, you can change the symbol from here, right? You can select none, or you can select the rupees, so whatever suits you, you can do that, right? So this is a simple problem, only one formula you are applying future value here. Similarly, you will be solving the next question. Okay, so I will be taking one question of a different type, right? The next question will be having a different type of, you can say, question which we are going to calculate for future value. Similarly, 2-3 different types of question I will cover in this video, which is going to cover the whole, you can say, chapter. right? Okay, next comes the second question. So I have written down all the form, you can say, things here, so that it's easy for you to judge what parameter you have to take, what you need to mention, right? So let's read out the question first. The second problem asked, Mr. X invested 10,000, 5,000 and 2,000, right? So future value of a series of unequal cash flows. So you are investing a different amount of money in different years, right? So you are supposed to calculate the compounded value of this investment at the end of the third year, when interest is provided at the rate of 10% compounded annually, right? So this we will, in this question we will be preparing a table. So here we can write down the year, we can write down the cash inflows, then future value you are going to calculate it in this particular cell. So at the end of each year you will be calculating the, you can say, the future value, and you can sum the total future value and you will get the answer. Okay, so initially I am taking 0 0 0, right? In the 0 year there is no cash flow and no future value, so this we are going to use for this, that's why I have used it. So okay, next, how many years are there? 1 2 and 3, right? Okay, at the initial first year you are supposed to invest 10,000 rupees, right? Then you are going, in the second year you are investing 5,000, and in the third year you are investing 2,000 rupees. So that is going to, again, whatever given in the question you have to take that. Also you are supposed to mention a rate of interest at the top, also you can mention, or at the bottom, wherever the phrase suits you, so you can mention it. So I can take it here. So the rate of interest we can mention here equals, I can directly write it down here. The rate of interest is 10%, right? Percentage you need to measure per year, right? Okay, in this question I will be, you can say, showing you how to calculate future value at the end of each year, right? So again, the type is 0, PMT is 0, so you can mention that also, PMT is 0 and type is 0 because payment is made at the end of the year, right? Okay, okay, so we can take this as at the central value so that it is not combined, right? Okay, here you can insert a table column also, you can copy it here so that a clear segregation is there. This is your table, right? So this table you are supposed to prepare, you can mark it separately, right? Okay, future value, initially it is again 0. At the end of first year, what will be the future value? We will again apply the formula FV. Now rate, right? So what rate you will be taking? Since it is a tabular form and we will be requiring this same formula to calculate the future value for rest of the year, so I will be applying formula in such a way, whenever you are going for formula copying, that is applied for rest of the years also, right? So rate of interest is this, but it needs to be constant, so I will put a dollar symbol against the cell. So the cell was I7, right? But you can say put the dollar symbol against it, right? So to make this value constant, because constant rate of interest will be applied throughout the 3 years, right? Okay, then n period will be, okay, this investment is for 3 years. So whatever the value is there minus this value, because okay, so we have to make C11 as constant because this 3 years will remain same, right? The first value will be invested for 3 years, 3 minus 0, right? C11 is the final year 3, and we need to make it constant because it will remain always same. So you can put C11 F4, you click on F4, it will automatically become constant, right? So keep this thing in mind, how to make it constant, right? So you have to put dollar symbol against the row as well as column. C11, C is your row and then your 11 is your column. Okay, then minus your this thing. So first investment is for this. Next time the C8 will change, right, automatically as you copy the formula. We have not made it constant because initially it is 0, then 3 minus 1, 3 minus 2, 3 minus 0. Last investment is at the end of the 3 years, so it will be 0. Okay, just apply a similar way what I am applying here, then you will be able to understand. Okay, end period we have put C11, that is 3 minus 0. First investment is for 3 years. Then you have to take the value, present value. So again it need to be a negative sign here. So sorry, first of all you have to mention the PMT again 0. You can select it here, again it will be constant, it will not change, or you can directly write down 0 so that no confusion is there. Okay, next is you have to mention the invested value, first cash inflow, right? Then you have to mention 0, type is 0, at the end of the year your payment will be done, right? Okay, so you will get a value of 13310, right? So this is the future value you will be getting for 10,000 after an year, after you can say 3 years. So now you will copy the formula. So 6,050 you will get for 5,000 because it is invested only for 2 years. You will get 2,200 because it is invested for 1 year only, right? So these are the future value. So you can go for the sum total also. Sum you will get sum at the end of 3 years. You have to get the total sum of all these values, all 3 values, right? And you have to put enter. So in total you will be getting 21,560. This thing we have done here because each year the investment cash inflow is different, so you have to calculate the future value for each invested value separately, and then you are going for a total. So I'm repeating this thing again, or so that it is more clear in your mind how to do that, right? So I'm deleting these values and repeating it again so that there is no confusion in your mind. Once you practice it, it will automatically, you are able to learn how to do that. Future value, right? Rate of interest is this. Then end period will be, okay, first rate need to be constant, it is not going to change, that's why you select it and click F4, right? So it will become constant. This is also called absolute value, right? It will not change. And whatever is going to change, that is called relative cell referencing, right? So there are 2 types of cell referencing. If you want to learn it further, you can search what is absolute cell referencing and relative cell referencing. Absolute, where you during formula copying some values remains constant, some values keeps on changing each year, so that is relative cell referencing, right? Okay, so rate of interest is fixed, so it is going to be a dollar symbol you have to put. Then what is n period? N period will, for first investment, will be 3 years. So you will take the 3, you make it fixed because each time you will be taking the 3, so make it constant. 3 minus 0 means this value, right? C8 will change, C11 will be same every time, but C8 will be C9 next time when you go to the second column, second row, and C9 to C10 when you go to the third column. So you need to, that's why I have taken 0 0 0, because I have to take this value here from this place. Okay, then PMT is 0. Then you are going to mention the PV again minus this thing, right? So here the main thing which is important is you need to every time check which value you need to make constant and which will be relative, right? Or which will be changing every time. So only a small thing you need to keep in your mind. And then you have to take the type 0. Okay, okay, and put enter. So this we can apply separately, but since we are going for a formula copying in Excel, so if the values are so many, so it will be very much difficult each time to apply the formula separately for each one of it. So it's better to apply one formula in the first cell, and then go for the formula copying, right? Okay, so now the next step is you have to copy it. You can copy this way, right? And at the end you have to go for the total of the 3 things, right? So equals to sum, start the bracket, and add the 3 future values. So complete array you can select at once, right? So this is 21560. Okay, next I'm going to proceed. So if you are having any doubt, you can ask me through the comment box. Okay, now next I'm going to proceed with another type of question. Okay, so each time I'm taking a separate question of a different type. Okay, now one thing can be happened is, in the previous question the investment was unequal cash flow. Each year the investment was different. First year 10,000, 5,000 and 2,000. Now we will be taking equal cash flow, that is same amount you can say have to invest. Okay, this is your third question. So again you will be mentioning it, the PV. Okay, here one thing is mentioned. Mr. X has invested an amount of 10,000 each at the end of first, second and third year. So invested amount is constant here, right? So again it is use in case of constant payment to be made or constant rate of interest. Here the constant payment is made, right? So PV we will not take, we will directly take PMT, right? So you can write down PMT, constant payments are made, so you can take 10,000 rupees. Okay, over a period of time. Then years it is given, right? Years it is 3 years. So like just as I'm writing down 3% is coming because the formatting of this cell is not okay. In some cells sometimes you find that formatting is different because it is a presetted formatting, so you can't help in this, so you have to change the formatting. Okay, so you have to mention 3, right? So it is years, right? Then n period again it is an annual mode, right? So it will remain same and period will be 3. Then your PMT you have already mentioned, rate of interest you have mentioned. Okay, rate of interest you have not mentioned, so let's mention the rate, that is 10%. Okay, now future value you are supposed to calculate. Write down the FV, so directly write FV. It's again a simple one. Rate, that is same. Okay, no need to make constant because you are not going to copy anywhere. Directly you are going to calculate the future value here, so you can directly mention it. And period is 3. PMT, this time you are going to take, since you are investing, so you take 10,000 here. Then your PV is this time, and then your type is 0. You can directly mention if you have not written above. So this is the situation, and enter. So this is the future value you will be getting after 3 years. There we go, in the previous question we calculate future value individually first and then can go for the total, but here since the constant payment is made, you can directly apply the formula for 3 years. Okay, this is the third different type of problem. Okay, next comes your another type of question. So again, now till now we have covered the question in the annual mode. Now it's time to learn how to do question if it is semi-annually mode, compounded semi-annually, compounded quarterly or monthly. So just see properly how we are going to do it. First, just write down all the given things given in the question. Rate of interest, so that is 10%. Okay, next is your present value is given. Present value is your 10,000, again rupees. In question, kindly mention how it is given. It is per annum. Per annually or per annum, you can directly mention. Okay, then you have to mention the year. This is 3 years, right? And period in case of annual mode will be 3, right? So we will be just learning how it is mentioned. So annually it is, and period in case of annual mode is 3, but here we have to take it for semi-annually mode first. So I can write it down here. Okay, I'm marking here semi annually, right? Then we will be going for quarterly. Then at the bottom I will be calculating it for monthly. This is right. So N period is, again you can say, effective rate of interest, which you are going to apply for half yearly or semi-annual mode, right? So two things will change. Keep in your mind, your N period will change. Effective N period you are going to calculate, and you are going to calculate the effective rate of interest. So effective rate, right? Two things you have to calculate. Okay, I'm going to, you can say, insert one row above so that it is segregated separately. Okay, N period will be, in this case, is whatever the number of period is, you have to multiply by 2, right? So you will get 6. Okay, and rate of interest for half year, it will become whatever the rate of interest is there, divided by 2, so it will become 0.05. 6 half years, right? And half yearly. I can write it down for your reference. You can mention in the rest of the you can say question yourself. Okay, future value, same way you have to apply it. Future value, rate of interest, we will not take rate of interest annually, we will now take effective rate of interest for half year, right? This is the effective rate, and period is 6 now instead of 3 because you have to go for half years. PMT is not given, so you can mention 0. PV you are supposed to take, that is the value, and you are at the end of the year take type, and if it is not given you can directly take 0. Okay, so this is the value you will be getting in case of half yearly, right? Okay, so this is for the, you can mark it separately. Now you are going for quarterly and then monthly, same way you are going to proceed, right? Okay, I can copy it from here. You are supposed to calculate end period for quarterly also. So what is end period? Equals to whatever the period is, right? Year is, you have to multiply by 4, and rate of interest you have to divide by 4. Okay, and then future value, so it will be FV. Keep in your mind, you have to take effective things. Rate of interest is this, end period is this, PMT is 0, then PV you have to take negative, right? So this and 0, type is 0, enter it, you will get the value. Similarly, you are supposed to calculate it for your monthly basis. You can delete the extra column, if any row it is extra, you can click it. Okay, again same thing you are going to mention, so you can take equals to, end period will be this, multiply by 12, right? And your effective rate of interest is divided by 12. Okay, and again you are going to calculate future value with the same formula, FV, rate of interest, effective rate of interest you have to take, end period you have to take, PMT is 0, then PV you have to take, that again negative. Keep on practicing these questions, you will easily do the practical. There is no such difficulty in doing these type of question. Okay, these are the different. So for the 3 things, you have 3 situations: semi-annually, quarterly and monthly. You have solved the question. Okay, now the easy questions are going to come, not the difficult one. Now in this case you are going to calculate the installment. You will be applying the PMT function here. Okay, so first of all, similarly you have to write all the things given in the question, right? So present value, Mr. X deposit rupees 5 lakh on his retirement in a bank on which interest is provided at the rate of 10% per annum. How much money in equal installment can be withdrawn and annually for a period of 10 years, right? So you have to calculate, if he is investing 50 lakh So what amount he can get annually out of it, right? So present value is given here is 50 lakh rupees. 6 rupees. Okay, then rate is given, that is 10%. Then years are mentioned, that is 10 years. So again percentage is coming because in my laptop there is some problem otherwise it don't come here because the setting for this particular cell is different. Okay, so I will take it a number, simple number, 10 years, and end period will be same because it is an annual mode. Similarly, if it is in say half yearly mode or quarterly mode, the same way previously we have done, you have to take effective rate of interest and effective end period, right? Okay, effective period is again 10 here. So you are supposed to calculate the installment amount, installment you will be getting or the money you will be getting, right, each year. So equals to PMT, right? This is the function you are going to use, and the syntax as you write it down PMT, so that will show you the syntax. Rate you need in this question, and period, PV, FV, and type. Whatever is given you have to mention it, rest you can take it 0, right? So rate of interest is this, and period is this. Okay, so just hold on. Here we have changed this, you can say format, so it remains the same, so we have to change it. Okay, PMT, rate of interest is this, and period is this. Present value, you can again put minus against it, right? Future value not given, take it 0, type at the end of year. So this is the amount you will be getting at the end of each year, right? If you have invested 50 lakhs, right? So 8 lakh something you will be getting. So this is the how to calculate installment. Similarly, whenever you are borrowing a car, some loan amount you take it from them, and you are you can get asking the salesperson to tell me what installment you have to pay. So whatever the loan amount you have taken, through PMT function you can calculate the installment what you need to pay, right? Okay, last topic, that is the depreciation question. Okay, okay, leave it. So depreciation question. So again here depreciation is a separate topic, you can say different from the these future values and present value question or PMT questions, right? So here you are supposed to learn how to solve the depreciation question. Okay, so whatever the given things are there, first of all the same thing you are going to do is cost of an asset. Let's read out the question first, then we will write it down. A machine costing rupees 50,000 has a useful life of 4 years. The estimated scrap value in you can say Excel we will be calling scrap value as slavage value, right? Slavage you can use. The estimated scrap value is 10,000 using the straight line method and using the straight line method and double declining method, find the annual depreciation and construct a schedule for depreciation. So two methods you are going to apply in this question, straight line method and double declining method, or declining method you can also use, right? So this is DDB I have taken. So one more thing is there, DB, declining balance method, that also you can apply. So whatever the cost things are given in the question, you have to write down the first those things. So the cost of the asset is 50,000. Write down the values also here, the units. Then the slavage value, that is your scrap value, that is 10,000 rupees. Then you have to mention the life of asset, that is 4 years. Okay, now this for this you can use a table. So first thing, you have to take year, right, cost of an asset, you can take, then book value you have to calculate at the end of each year. So two methods we will be going to use here, SLN method, that is straight line method. Then you can use the DB method or DB method, you can use the DDB method. Three things are there, three formulas are there in of depreciation in Excel. So you can write down the years 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? Okay, so whatever the cost is there, you have to take it in the first, you can say this thing. Okay, cost of an asset, so this is 50,000 initially, right? Then you come to the first method, so you have to calculate the, you can say, the value after a year. So what you will be doing is, you will be directly applying the formula SLN, right? Start the bracket. So since I am aware, cost you are going to mention, right? So whatever the cost is there, you will take this, slavage value is this, and your life of the asset, you are going to take this. So for 1 year you are going to supposed to calculate it, right? So it is 40,000. So this will be the value for the next year. Okay, you can copy this thing here, right? Initially it is 0. As you copy this, some value will come. Okay, okay, one mistake I have done here, so let's correct it. Equals to SLN, we have to take something constant. Cost is constant, we have not taken it constant, so you have to make it constant because it is going to remain same. Slavage value is going to remain same, you have to fix it, right? But life, for this 1 year you have to calculate the book value, right? So it is, you can take every 1 year, right? You have to calculate, right? Life of an asset, if we are going to calculate, right? So this is the value 40,000, and next year it will become 40,000. You copy it here, right? If 0 0 is coming, then it's okay, right? Each time the value will be copied first column. Okay, okay, some mistake I have done it again. Okay, let's check the formula again. Okay, let's delete it, do it. Okay, So 50,000 is the cost of an asset equals to SLN, right? Cost you will be taking here, right? Each time the cost will change, so we will not take cost from above value. Slavage will remain same, right? So it will be constant, only this thing is going to be constant. And life is 1 year, every year you have to calculate it, right? So this is the value. Next year this value will be copied from this place, right? So now you are supposed to scroll it down. Okay, then you scroll it down, right? So 40,000 will be taken as the next year cost of an asset. Then it will be again 10,000 will be reduced, it will remain 30,000, then 32, 20,000, 20,000 to 10,000. So this is the final value you are going to calculate, do, right? Okay, so if you are going to apply for declining base method, how to calculate depreciation, right? You directly apply DB. So cost, slavage, life and period, right? So here one extra thing is there, period, and you have to mention, right? So cost will be this, right? Every time it is going to change. Slavage from here, this place, make it constant. Take the life here, right? Again it is constant, but period will change, right? So for the first year you are going to take it. Month, if it is not given, leave it, you no need to mention it. Click on this. So this is the depreciation, right? Similarly you can calculate it for DDB, right? Take the cost from here, then you have to take the slavage, make it constant. Take the life is again constant, right? Period for the this year, second year, right? And you have to calculate it. Sorry, for the first year you are supposed to calculate it. So take this value, right? And click it. So keep the things in your mind, what things you are going to take further, right? This is the depreciation. 25,000, 10,000, 0, 0, right? Double declining balance method. Okay, so these questions are going to come in your examination, so you can prepare well. If still any problem, still any doubt, you can comment and I will try to respond you. And if you like things in such way, you can subscribe my channel for further videos on the topic business maths. Thank you.